music while we make sure that everything is up and running. I wish I could figure out how to get Instagram to work, because I would take off Twitch and go with Instagram because we got more followers, but I can't figure out how to make it work.
I have attempted. I don't know. And on the thing, it keeps saying that it is streaming, that we're actually live, but I don't see it.
Same.
It's the weirdest fucking thing.
I don't know. I'm like, I agree. I can't figure. Like, and I try to like look and follow the directions and just kind of make sure, and I keep reapplying to. Where's Facebook? I don't see it on Facebook just yet. I keep reapplying for the Talk app. Okay, and it's still nothing. I did send an email though, like what I need to do. But I guess I'll probably get the same response you got. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you, everyone who's joining us. We are live for our Sunday Live. We hope that you missed us last week. It was a long weekend and we was trying to enjoy it too.
I mean, really.
Just saying.
I mean, I agree. I was going to say something, but I was like, man.
What?
Girl, I thought I had messed up something, but I'm trying to figure this thing out over here.
We're going to give it about another minute, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Y'all know where this is going to live on the YouTube, as it always does. Please also know, if we do not see you guys in the chat really quickly, just be patient with us, because we may not have quick visibility to it, and it's just the two of us. You ain't got no mods or anything like that?
I mean, we get some more listeners. We can pick from our top listeners to be moderators.
Mm-hmm.
So our top supporters and listeners,
right.
We can always pick them to be some mods.
That's right, but that means you got to be watching, and you have to be like a top.
Know what's going on, right? Girl, I don't know what this is on my nerve. I got something. I think that might be the honey. It got stuck all on the side of my cup.
Oh, it's hard to get off too.
Like, what is that? Like, ugh.
Dad, what is these? And then when it gets stuck, it's never coming off. I've had. I think I got like it on my clothes one day, and I was like, I guess this shirt is gonna be a wrap. It's just gonna be here even after washing it.
Girl.
And it has staying power though.
And any type of oil, like even hair oil, once it gets on your clothes, it's like, I've tried and I can't seem to like I made like this rosemary peppermint clove oil thing for my hair, and it got on my clothes, and I used to kind of like what did I use? I want to say I used olive oil and like a little bit of coconut oil to kind of make the oil kind of. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, the thing got on my darn clothes and
there forever. I tell you, try that the flour mix. It doesn't always work 50-50, but I've had it.
Time.
Yeah, just put some flour on it, it'll absorb all those oils. But I wonder if it's like more of a natural things, if it has like any more additives, if that might affect how well the oil comes out. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I know when you told me to try the flower trick with the shirt that day, it
It
did
worked.
work. It
Hmm.
really did. I was like, oh, check that out. Who knew?
50-50 shot, but it's worth
My,
it.
my look, my job, like sometimes it involves oil and grease and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, what I got to do? Walk around with some flour? I'm joking.
Why not? Well, I mean, if it's a certain, I mean, I don't know. If it's your work clothes, it's your work clothes.
It is what it is.
It is
But
what
I
it
still like
is.
to. I don't know. I still like to be kind of stylish, even though have to work in it. I mean, I try to still be me,
Mm-hmm.
even with my work clothes. Even though I know they're gonna get dirty, and yeah, you got me
Mm.
thinking about that thing. You're like, they're work clothes, and I'm like, but I still want them to look cute.
It's. I mean, I don't know. I guess if it's in a, I guess it depends. Like for me personally, it depends on the setting. Like I've run the gamut when it comes to jobs. Like working in a warehouse, I was like, whatever. I'm just my
Or
clothes clean, even if it might have a stain. Okay. Um, and but office setting, I think if it was office setting, I'm probably a little bit more particular, because I might like meet clients and stuff like that. But like, and obviously it's different. But I just be like, yeah. Um, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get it going. It is Sunday, and we are here for the Oust Now Live, which we try to keep it for every Sunday, but last Sunday was different because we was trying to hang out because it's the long weekend, and sometimes priorities are priorities, and that's what we gonna do. Um,
everybody get a day off.
hell yeah, why not? Why not us small time podcasters?
Or my nose.
Spend time with family.
Listen, I don't know what you mean small time. We big time. We big time in our mind, and it's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. Can't nobody like. What are you doing? I'm working on something for the podcast thing.
Listen, it is a labor of love, is how I see it. And wherever it takes us is wherever it's going to take us. And if we have faith, which we do, it's going to get there in its time.
Yes,
There you go. So thank you,
period.
everyone who's joining us. We appreciate you. And, you know, we're going to try to keep it light and fun today. However, I don't know if this is something that went viral, but it is really making its rounds right now for a lovely lady who had a bad first date. We've all been there. And I try to think, oh, have I had a bad first date? Or it's been like, what did that look like? Um, so maybe some of this will help
Mm.
jog my memory.
Mine looked very weird, and I remember.
Well, actually, we talked about our adventures in dating on a regular podcast
Mhm.
episode. So if you guys haven't actually listened to that, go ahead and listen to that. I think it was right before the breakup revenge episode. So, or right around that time, but check that one out because it's actually pretty funny. And it was kind of right up there with the breakup revenge. So make sure
It
you're checking
was,
it out on YouTube or Facebook.
and I think I did talk about the very
Yes.
unusual first date
Yes.
um fiasco. And so if you would like to hear about that, please go listen to, first of all, go listen to all of our episodes,
Yes.
especially this season that we are working on right now, which has been released ever since what was Mother's Day.
Yes.
It's been
Mother's Day.
released ever since Mother's Day weekend, which is about history of Black and Brown people. And
Mhm.
our first season is based on women in history. The next House Now presents This Is Us will be based on our men.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
season 3 is going to be a mix of everyone, and we may even talk about some people that are not black or brown,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they still contributed to the progression, I believe. Is that the game plan? The
That is the
progression of.
tentative game plan. So if you haven't checked it out just yet, make sure you're checking it out because
Mhm.
we, for the first 4 episodes, which are available now only on YouTube, okay, Michelle Obama, Rosa Parks. Sorry, who was that? Oh, yeah, I was like,
It's
wait,
right there. It's right there. I was like counting with
yeah.
you, but I didn't want to be wrong.
I might say what
Listen,
now?
I
Girl,
was
you made
with
me lose my
you.
train of thought.
I'm sorry. I was
I'm
counting with
old.
you as you was counting. I was going. I was there.
I'm like, say what now?
Um,
Here we
Rice.
go.
Isn't it
See me
Rice?
forget. Barbara C. Jordan. There we go.
Oh. I'm so sorry. Did I forget about? I forgot about. I forgot. I'm
No,
so sorry.
Barbara C.
I don't have
Jordan
an
was
order.
before, and Condoleezza Rice is today.
Okay. I
There
was
we
like,
go.
wait, what?
I forgot which order. I was like, wait.
I'm
Oh,
so,
dang it.
well, I was counting with you. I couldn't remember either, but I had the countdown going. I had the four fingers.
Listen, women of a particular age, we forget stuff easy. And we are actually,
Girl.
we just wrapped up recording episode 8 and we're about to do 9. So it is a little bit meshed together. So it's kind of hard to remember like which is which. But that's why we have a playlist, and the playlist is on YouTube only. Only place it's at. So every Sunday at noon is where the new episodes are released, and today's was released at noon, and it was Condoleezza Rice. And we hope that you are enjoying it, and it's been received so far pretty well that I can see. Um, and we appreciate your support on that particular series. But you know how we do on our podcast. We try to do a little bit of everything. And well, there's one thing we typically steer clear of. But for the most part,
Politics. We don't do
politics.
politics.
um, but what's funny about that? Sometimes it's even hard to we try very, very hard to stay away from it, but sometimes some of the things that we talk about might lean into it a little bit, but we
Mhm.
try really, really hard to steer away from it because it's too polarizing. It's stressful. I know for me, it's stressful. And that is like really my motivation for it. Sometimes it can talk because of our jobs and stuff like that. So we have to keep it very, very, try to keep it tight. It's not always possible. Sometimes we might tiptoe around it. But actually, if you're watching our podcast or listening to it, why we don't really talk about it is because one is too polarizing, and we do have livelihoods that we do not want to impact by our opinions. So that's why, if anyone has ever asked. But today is Bad Date Central. We have all been there. As ladies, we know we talk about it. Men, y'all can weigh in. Y'all can weigh in. But the question that we should start off with is, I think, when you're on a first date, should there be an expectation of something more past dinner? And here is why.
No. No, why would I come to your place? This is our first date.
We're gonna like watch a movie or something. You got Netflix?
I Yes, I have Netflix, but like no, I'm not coming over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright. That's
I
literally the thing with like women. They just expect you to just fucking pay. Alright.
I
Alright.
I
Like, we'll come back to my place. We're just gonna watch a movie and then I'll drop you off.
I'm not comfortable watching a movie with you. It's our first date.
What the fuck?
I don't
Bro, we've been talking for hella long. We've been texting
but
like
like I don't do that. Off the first date? Off the
Are you gonna
first
cash
date?
at me?
You want me to cash app you?
Yeah.
For this little $15 meal?
It was more than 15.
It was $15 for my food.
So you're not gonna guess at me? Alright, bro.
I guess I will.
Alright.
What?
Chillers.
What?
Chillers, bro. I'm blocking the fuck out of you.
I don't know why I'm so tickled by it, but actually, it's kind of sad. Not sad. Is this what young people do nowadays when it comes to dating? I guess is my big question. Is this what the older people do when it comes to dating? Like, is this the thing?
I will say that I had two conversations with guys that were younger, in the younger age group, right?
Hmm.
And both of them was like, yo, I'm trying to get to know you before we go out on a date and I'm spending money. I might not even like you. You might not even like me, but I'm expected to pay for a date. And I thought it was the oddest thing about how things have changed so much. Um, I have never really experienced a time where I have went out
Okay.
and was actually expected to pay. Now, there have been times where I have went out and it was really a friendship thing. Now,
Hmm.
that situation did eventually lead to something else, but we don't even want to talk about that because that was definitely not what I thought it was. But that's beside the point. There have been times where I have went out and it was like a friendship type of let's go out, let's go get some grab some bite to eat type of thing, and I paid for my food. Um, but to be asked out like a date, like we're dating and you're asking me to pay whether I'm going to your house or not. And I'm not gonna even front. I wanna say my ex-husband, we initially really didn't go out either. Not initially. Um Maybe because we were both really young. Well, not really young, but we were both kind of, I don't know, 20s-ish, whatever. And we've definitely done shoot, they didn't even have, well, they did have Netflix, but it wasn't like it is now.
It was get
Girl,
the CD.
I am telling my age right
Get that
now, but
CD.
we did have Blockbuster. I said Blockbuster. Somebody
This
was like, "What?"
DVD. I said CD. I meant
Girl, I felt so ashamed. I was like, "Just never mind. Fuck it, never mind."
DVD, not CD. Blockbuster. VHS.
Go right,
Dude, VHS dates.
girl. But that's not the point. The point is, I have done a movie and I've dated. I'll tell you something else that I thought was really odd too. Almost the same person was like, I went out on, I was like, I've dated plenty of people, and it gave like they gave me like the eyebrow thing, and I guess he thought when I said I dated plenty of people that that meant that I was intimate with all of those people that I dated. And I was like, "What?" He was
All
like,
right.
"You you've
I
dated
would,
people and y'all didn't." And I was like, "Yeah, I went out on a date and that don't mean I didn't. And that's crazy."
okay,
Like
I
you mean
was like,
every
say
person
what?
so you mean every person that you went out with, like on a date,
What out?
we was screwing? And maybe that was this person's expectation from this video that we just saw. Maybe that's what his
Mm,
expectation was, or maybe that's what he was kind of used to. But I was like, you can actually date and not sleep with
yeah.
that person now. If if
I
you
mean,
feeling that energy, that's a little different. I mean, we grown, we adult.
that part. That's what I was gonna say. Listen, if that
Let's do what we do,
no
but not
judgment.
right. Absolutely, cause girl,
Because what works for you, and maybe you're not trying to be in a long term relationship and
correct,
whatever. So like,
correct.
but I just feel like the expectation should never be. if I'm paying for your meal, then I'm expecting something in return. Like, so if I go out a date with a guy and I'm like, hey, look, I got you coffee, I'm expecting some. That's a cheap date, but whatever.
Girl, you ain't getting nothing for no cup of coffee.
Okay,
Now,
but
listen.
like, if the roles were reversed, I just wonder if there's any guys watching today, please chime in. Do you have that expectation of, if you're paying for dinner, you're expecting some fun back at the crib? And by the way, asking her if she had Netflix.
Like, what the hell I gotta do with you?
That was so.
I would have said no. Even if I had it, I'm like, no. I
How you
don't
gonna
have
ask her
Netflix.
to come back
Who
to the
does
crib
Netflix?
to watch
Like,
her Netflix for
where's your
$15?
Netflix?
Hold on, wait a second. $15 for her meal would have got, to his expectation, would have got him some booty and her Netflix.
And her Netflix. You gonna watch my Netflix? And you
No,
want me to give you some ass? I mean,
no.
can I say that? Damn it, me and my
That
mouth.
just tickled me so bad. Like, you got Netflix? You don't have Netflix? You invited me back to your crib to watch some Netflix.
Girl.
Oh no.
Um, I don't know. I just thought, you know what? I kind of wondered as we watched it that time. Now, maybe not the very first time, but as we watched it that time, I
Mhm.
was kind of wondering, do you think it could have been a video for conversation or for views? Because in my mind, I'm like, legit, this can't be real. Like it, and then he got on his phone. It was like, oh yeah, I'm about to block the hell out you. Look, in all honesty, I'd have been like, gee, thanks, that made this easier.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I wondered if maybe it was possibly because people will concoct all kinds of crap just to go
Mhm,
viral and get people
mhm,
talking and following
mhm,
their page.
mhm,
We've seen
mhm,
it happen. We were talking about it a lot to live last live about the fact
mhm,
that that girl lied about her baby dad, that other mess, and so like people have
mhm,
done concocted worse stories than this to
yeah,
go viral.
mhm.
And I'm not sure this is viral, but it is making, it's making its waves around.
Social
But
media.
we've all had bad
Mhm.
dates. I don't think I've ever had someone expecting to
Me,
get
no.
some at the end of the night. I mean, for that, I'll pay for my own meal. I mean, I'll pay for your meal and not expect anything if that's how it is. Like, I'm not going to judge somebody if maybe I would. Let me think. I don't know. It's been a while. Please
We
forgive me.
judging. We gonna judge. I know I'm a judge. I'm be looking like,
I mean, if somebody said to me, "Hey, listen, I'm in a tight spot, XYZ. Can we do Dutch?" As a
mm,
person of my age, I might be like, okay, well, I appreciate you being honest. Because think how many guys are not honest about the most
girl,
mundane things. So
girl,
I would, I don't know what
shoot.
stage in my life I'd be like, okay, but I feel like if someone was upfront enough to say, hey, look, I'm in a tight spot. Let's go for a walk. We don't even have to go do dinner. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I think someone's being transparent. I mean, you could start over at any age in life. You could be 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Like that doesn't happen to just young people. So I just feel like I would appreciate the transparency, but still no expectation at the end of anything, not even a kiss.
I'm like, right? I'm like, and remember, like, I maybe it's saying something about our my age, but I remember like it was even the first kiss was kind of like, girl, I'll do that lean in a minute. I've done it. I've done it. Like, hold on.
Hmm.
I did have someone actually. I did have someone do that to me, and I really think they thought that I was going.
It was like lean back.
Give them the mouth kiss. And I'm like, I'm not giving you the mouth kiss. I'm gonna give you the cheek. You want that?
Dang, you waiting for it.
Yeah, I slightly also look, I slightly just bow, boo, right there. Lay it on me.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking back. I'm just thinking, for please forgive me because It's been a little bit, and I don't know. I think
Um,
maybe dating's different now. With the
I think
creation
so.
of Netflix. Maybe that's why.
You
Because
think so? With at
maybe
Netflix at home with
Netflix and chill.
right? I
Mm.
was gonna say I think it depends on how you vibing with the person as well.
Mm.
I think that plays a part in it. I know for me it does. It does.
Like,
Um,
okay, I got you. I got
yeah,
you.
like how I'm vibing with the person. Like there's some people you can go out with and you feel like you've known them for a very long time. And there's some people you can go out with and you're like, uh, I don't know how I feel about you just yet. So you're gonna get the foul, you know. And then
Hmm.
no,
No, I was just thinking like online dating has probably changed a lot how we date because if you've dated online, chances are you've been talking online for a little bit. So maybe, I don't know, assuming, right?
I
Or
think
at least
that's
that
what
was
he
for my
said.
case. But what's a while? Because like what's a while? 2 weeks, a week, a month, 4 months? Like what is a while? But I think it sets a different. You have this sense of getting to know someone a little bit more because you're talking and chatting and stuff like that. But I just feel like I don't know. As I've gotten older, I even like, is that enough?
Mm.
Is it enough?
Um, if we're talking about enough.
Mhm.
Is there ever enough? Because you could know somebody for a very long time and
Mhm.
be surprised
True.
at their decisions. Be like,
Like, why'd you go do that? Because I don't know. That
uh,
don't make sense.
I'm confused by that. I thought clearly this is
Yeah.
not what I thought it was. Obviously, we not
Mm,
on the same page here. So and you can know somebody, heck, you could live in a house with somebody and
very true. I wonder if it feels like, I wonder if it could be seen as, and I'm not sure I would see it this way, but it's kind of like, because we're just talking about it and I'd have to sit with it a little bit, but I wonder if you could perceive it as, well, at least he was being honest. Like that was his expectation, where you'd have someone else who would not be honest, put up a facade,
fair.
and then that's not who they are. At least he like, this is who I am. I mean, I'm not saying it's
I
okay,
can respect it.
but
I
it's kind of
can
fun.
respect the honesty.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's just a yes or no. You know what? I agree with that because that's just a simple yes or no. I
Mhm.
think the offensive part was when she declined,
Yeah.
and then he was like, "Well, give, give
Blocking
my
you.
little
Bye.
no, 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 no. Give me my $15, and then because you're not giving me my $15, now I'm gonna block you. That was when it got disrespectful. Now
Mm,
but him asking, I mean, closed mouths don't get fed. I mean, she might have would have said yeah.
fair.
I mean,
Maybe.
you can't knock him for asking. I
Fair.
mean, technically it was the disrespectfulness afterwards once he
Mhm.
got an answer that he didn't like, and you can tell a lot about a person by how they act when you say no,
Mm,
not really when they say when they're saying yes. You can't really find out
absolutely.
much, but you say no and realize that y'all not on the same page, and it's like,
Absolutely.
oh,
Yeah,
got
because
it.
that's when, I mean, that also shows you like how you handle things, like how do you handle conflict, shit like that. So he was, well, that's how you handle conflict. Okay, well then, like most mature people, you'd figure, okay, well here's a and not in this scenario, but in general terms, like if there's a conflict, how do we handle it? Are we going to talk it through? Are you just going to be an a-hole like he kind of was? But that was the best
Kinda. Well,
indicator.
that was delicate. You said kinda. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh,
I was being kind of gentle a
oh, so
little bit.
kind.
But I mean, it's a fair indicator. Like how if you were to pursue a relationship with anybody, like how they respond in XYZ, these little things is what you can expect. going forward.
I agree. I think everybody handles disappointment differently. And I think he handled it quite aggressively.
Mhm.
But I think I have been shocked at shit and handle shit real aggressively. Like I can admit that.
Mm.
I think I have. Um, yeah, yeah. I've handled hurt.
I mean, I
I
have
mean, we talked
too.
about it.
If you've
We talked
listened
about
to
it.
Breakup Revenge,
Right,
y'all
that's
go
what I
listen
was thinking about. That if you listen to Make Up Revenge, you will find
to
out that I have not always
it.
handled
Same.
my emotions
Yeah, but that was different.
very
'Cause that was
well.
no, that was different because it was we've been together, break up versus this is our first date and you.
And you want some
I think it is different when you've been in the relationship and then you have conflicts that you can't get past. That's a
Mhm,
different.
mhm, mhm.
I think the breakup revenge is completely warranted. Go listen to that episode. In fact, if it's on YouTube, and in fact, I think it's the featured video, and it will be posting on TikTok this coming week. So you can catch on the Hawk 2 in parts 1 and 2. Part 1 will be out on Monday, and then part 2 on Thursday. So that'll be Breakup Revenge. It was a really funny episode. So prepare to
Girl,
be entertained.
girl, I can't believe I put my business out there.
Same.
That one and embarrassing moment, I think was the two that I was like, dang, I can't believe I said that.
Same.
But it is what it is.
Don't judge us, okay?
It's all right, cause if you do something, we probably gonna judge you like we judging this dude right here. Trash, straight trash.
But one thing we can
Trash.
always say is the comments are always going to deliver. Sometimes
Girl,
I feel like I'm only on TikTok just for the comment. It's like
girl,
straight to the comments.
look.
And
As soon as I see something, I'll be like, oh, F what y'all talking about. Let me go straight here and see what everybody else got to say
that right
about it. Let's
there.
go check this out. Okay. All right.
That
I
right
live.
there. So, as always, we like our screenshots.
Girl.
And just remember as we get this set up that, hey, this will live on YouTube. That. See? That's right. He have his own Netflix account talking
You
about
trying
come
to
back
get
to
to
the
my
place.
house? You trying- I'm sorry, girl. Keep going.
Come on, like this is what it's all about. So for anyone who doesn't
Uh,
really understand
uh,
the what if you're of our generation and you don't really understand TikTok and you feel like it's just for younger people, it's for our people too, but it's just where it is because I think people in our is more focused on let's look at those comments, while
girl.
maybe um the person Kenzie Ann talking about just hire someone at that point, bro.
I know that's right. Like you might you might pay a little bit more than $15, but
That's I don't know what the going rate is, but
thank God.
15 ain't it? I'm sure of it.
If you did, I might be over here outside out and judging like, girl, you know.
I think that was she's just bro. Just hire someone. Fair point. Fair point. I think that's probably one of the funnier
Let
ones.
me see. I can't see. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Let's see. What? I'm blocking. What? I'm so sorry, girl. I can't see. And I got. Wait. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Pause. Let me look at this camera. It says I'm blocking F. What? I'm blocking.
TF.
Oh, the F out of you. Oh,
Promise?
promise.
Question
Girl,
mark.
and that's what I said. I said, shoot, thank you. Thank you. Because I was never gonna talk to you again after this. No way. That's what I would have been thinking. I was like, what?
I'm
Okay.
just saying. But then the person, Natalie underscore 2020 underscore, may the loneliness epidemic last forever. We
Wait.
wish that for him.
I love that for you, bro. I love it.
Agreed.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's
and now
see.
this one, I had to read it twice. 'Cause at first I was like, say what? And then I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Um, okay, so men, they isn't any wait, is any good. They I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
All right,
That,
men, there isn't there, sorry, symphony underscore flow. That should be there. There isn't any good woman anymore. Females, we want courtship. No, I'm not going home with you on a first date. Man, she's a gold digger. She wasn't interested in me and just wanted a meal.
girl, that's just how it be though.
The
Girl.
oxymoron of it. Very true. But this one was kind of
Um,
interesting. Miss Stephanie
okay.
Akizi, she said, before I went to this date with this guy, he asked me to come over to his place after, and I said no. Hours later, he canceled the date, so I decided to go to the place where we were supposed to go with my friend, and he was there with another woman. Friend, you said no. I was a little bit like perplexed by that. You said, I don't know. You said no. He made other plans, and then you showed up anyway. That was kind of weird to me. Or am I reading it wrong?
No, you're reading. You're seeing that wrong. She did say that she was not going to go to his place afterwards. So because she said she was
Oh.
not going to his place afterwards, he canceled on her. And so she was like, well, even though he canceled, I guess she figured out, even though he canceled, I still want to go to this place. And she saw him
Oh, the
there.
place, like a restaurant or something like that. Okay.
Correct,
Okay,
correct,
okay.
correct, 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 correct,
But
correct.
she said his place. Asked me to come over to his place after.
No,
Oh, okay, she
no,
still went to the place. Okay. Well, whatever. I mean, why still? Oh, that is kind of strange, though. Still, why would you still
no,
go to that
it's
place?
not. No, if it was a restaurant that I really wanted to go to eat at, and he was like, hey, let's go
Hmm.
try this restaurant. And then when he was like, hey, we going back to my place after the restaurant, and I say no, I still want to go try this restaurant. I'm gonna
Hmm.
go, even though you're not gonna take me. Not a problem. I'm not going to your home afterwards. I don't know if I like you like that yet.
It better be a good ass restaurant for me. I would have loved to know what
Why,
the place was.
girl? What does I
I
feel like it
don't
doesn't
know.
matter if it's a restaurant and I want to try it, or maybe it's a restaurant she already tried and she know the food is good.
That's
So she was
fair.
like, "F it." He don't want to go. He don't want to take me. So
Oh, that's right. What if she picked the place? What if she picked the place and was like, "Oh, she got her heart
possibility.
set." Okay, I get that. I get that. But at first, I was like, "Say
Yeah.
what?"
Mm.
But I think okay. Here was oh no, not the one that I found to be really really funny just yet.
I can't. I can't see none of that. You gonna have to read that.
Let's see. So Avavu says, "Yeah, nothing screams unsafe like going to a complete stranger's house." Fair enough. Do you guys literally just not get this? Like, what is happening? And then cute mama 82 goes, that's the start of a true crime documentary. You ain't wrong. Not wrong.
And
I
you,
mean,
that's about right. That's facts. And I watch enough of them to know. Girl, I have my alarm set.
oh, same. Okay. Right? Like, say what?
Dateline.
And then Miss Vina goes, oh, he got sassy.
Girl,
He did.
real sassy. Oh, you threatening me with blocking me? Like,
Thank you.
boy, bad.
Yo.
Oh, you gonna block me? Oh, I'm devastated. Oh, okay.
Fine. He was a little sassy. Straight diva. Over a $15 meal. All right now.
Girl, wait.
Mm-mm-mm. And the Netflix.
Wait, that's not what I was gonna say. I was like, shit, $15 don't go a long way like it used to, girl. I'm
That part too. It's like a soda. Like a drink is literally like 350 depending on where.
she
Even
was
like
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yo, she was considerate. She only did $15, bruh. What's your math for? Like $15?
she got the
Shit,
chicken.
sometimes you can't even get a meal from down a fast food restaurant for that. What you mean?
Mm.
And you mad? You need to be like, girl, thank you for knowing how to budget. Shoot, that's what you need.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. I think I don't know. Most of these was funny. Like we could have been like taking screenshots of all the comments, but there was just too many good ones. But this one really this guy looked like Lupe Fiasco. So I had to go find out.
Ah, girl,
But
let's
does
do it.
he?
Let's see. Does he?
Does he?
Oh, he does.
When I saw it, I was like,
Oh,
oh,
he does.
let me play it again. Hold on.
Wait, do it. He does.
Twins.
Now,
Where have you been?
I'm sure he would. He don't look like he hurt, and he don't look like he'd be mad about that 15. I mean, but look at me deceiving.
That just made me laugh because I was like, oh, wait,
Oh,
he
he
does.
does. He really does.
All right. We kind of figure it's really not you. So don't go running wild with it.
I mean, if you want to come and talk about it on Oust Now podcast and give your side of the story,
All right.
we are here for it, honey. Is this not
Very
your
true.
first date? Tell us what you think.
I don't know. And I could be wrong, but I don't feel like Lupe. Nothing. I'm gonna put my petty away. Forget what I was about to say. Okay.
I want him to know it's no shots at him. We're just making
Mhm, mhm.
we was just confirming
Mhm.
that they really do look alike, and
They
they
really
really
do.
do have some similarities.
Maybe they
Um, with
cousins.
with a facial structure, honey. Don't claim him because he out here being embarrassing. Don't.
Yeah, don't do that. Now,
Mm-mm.
do you feel like I don't know because I don't have like guy friends and stuff like that, but I wonder like if we know more about what it looks like from the women's perspective because of our friend circles, things like that. Like, gentlemen, if anyone is joining us that is a male, if you want to drop in the comments, what have you had a really bad dating experience that you'd want to share? Don't be afraid to.
I should have so got some of my guy friends to put in on that. Like, right?
Mm.
I really wasn't. I wasn't thinking about that because I do have some guy friends. I did have a guy friend that said that he had a bad date because I want to say during the date she seemed very distracted.
Mm.
Um, which I think I would find offensive too. As a matter of fact, I have went out with somebody, and if I go out with you and we're out and we're getting to know each other, but you are all in your phone, I will get offended. I will get
Mhm.
very offended. I'll be like, hey yo, I'm gonna check out. As a matter of fact, I might even get on my damn phone just to, make it fair. Because I'm all about equality and fairness.
Touche.
And I mean, okay, not a problem. Hold on. I might have to put on my glasses to do it, but I'll be.
We could be on our phones. That's fine.
We can do this. If this what we're doing, we can do this together. I mean, I'm not even upset. But I know I won't go out with you again. Um, and that's something that I pay attention to.
Okay, sorry. Special request, little person. When we end the stream, um, oh, I'll send you a message.
My little person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we end the stream, you guys can do the video stuff.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, it's not just women who kind of experience bad dates. Like it would be interesting to know what it looks like from the male's perspective. And funny thing about that, we
Oh,
do
don't
have a
worry.
gentleman who's willing to share his perspective that we managed to find. So let's go for it.
When
Funny how that
folks say
worked.
Atlanta's the worst place to date, they are not lying. Please believe them when people tell y'all this, because I just had the worst first date experience ever in my life. So I met this girl on a Tuesday night, and we agreed to lunch on a Sunday afternoon. By mid lunch, I knew I was never going to talk to this girl ever again. And just to provide a little bit more context for y'all, Shorty told me she only been here for like 10 months. She's from New York. And like, so I don't know if New Yorkers are just like blunt like that or if Shorty was just being rude as hell. But bro, she was crazy because she was on one from the minute the date started. So before we even get to the spot, I'm on the phone with Shorty and, just checking in and whatnot and trying to flirt a little bit. I might have said something like, let me be your personal photographer or your personal stylist or whatnot. Shorty kind of spazzed on me a little bit. She was like, one thing you're not going to do is tell me what to wear. What you talking about, bro? So I kind of, I kind of deflected it or whatnot. And she was like, that's one way. That's a fast way to get me not to come on this date. And bro, I had no idea what the fuck was going on, bro. So I deflected it. I'm telling myself we're gonna have a good time on this date or whatnot. So I continue pursuit to the spot, right? So we pull up to the spot finally, right? I ordered me a drink before she got there because she was already running late. I tell her where I'm at, I go get her, walk her back to my spot, having like a little mid conversation with her. First thing she tells me is, you talk too much. No clue what she's talking about. Don't even know what I said. All right. So mind you, again, just to give you a little bit of context, she said she wanted Caribbean food, so I offered that spot it was like a little food hall in Marietta. And they got like all these different kind of restaurants. I thought they had Caribbean in that restaurant. Turns out it was Mediterranean. Oops, my bad. So I made a mistake, but now Shorty is calling me a liar. She's like, oh, so you're lying. And I'm trying to figure out if she's just playing or if she's being for real. But she got on a straight face, no emojis, okay? No kind of LOL. So she's really making a big deal out of this. So much so that the bartender had to get involved, right? And the bartender was like, well, anybody could have made that mistake. It's the Anian at the end. Like, if you get Caribbean and Mediterranean mixed up, blah, 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 blah. It could have happened to anybody, right? Cool. Now she's going back and forth with the bartender talking about, how can you get it mixed up? They're two different geological locations. I'm like, bro, are you really doing this right now, bro? So she's going back and forth with the bartender. I got my drink. As I'm drinking my drink, she was like, so are you some kind of alcoholic? Again, I have no idea if she's being for real or not. I'm like, just off of one drink? She was like, well, you asked me what kind of drink that I wanted before I got here, or what kind of drinks did I like before I got. I was like, bro, is that not just a regular question? I'm asking you what kind of spot you like and what kind of drinks do you like, because I know spots, I know bartenders, and what is we talking about? So boom, the waitress, she finally brings us to our seats. I get another drink number 2. She's still over there calling me an alcoholic. She then says I must smoke cigarettes because my lips are black. Then there was like another instance where she got offended over her name because I asked her if she had any nickname and do people call you so and so. She was like, don't ever call me that because that doesn't match my complexion and whatnot. So I was like, bro, relax. I'm just asking because I'm the one, I don't usually say names if it's over 3 syllables. I'm sorry, I'm lazy with syllables. So she was like, oh, so you're a lazy man. I don't think you should be telling that to a girl on a first date. Bro, I'm like, I'm looking for Ashton Kutcher at this point, dog, because I know I'm being punked, man. So eventually we get to the part of the conversation where she's telling me about her sexuality. She told me that she's bisexual, which I did not know. She was like, I don't know if I told you or not. So of course I asked follow-up questions about, which would you rather date, between a man or a woman. She gets aggravated again, starts spazzing out a little bit. This is why I didn't want to tell you. I don't feel like explaining myself. I think men are just horrible. Men are terrible creatures. I'm like, bro, that's all I had to hear. So Shorty basically been biting and barking all evening, and I'm just trying to figure out like where the energy came from, bro. But this was the last straw for me. Is bro, we're having a conversation, and Shorty was like randomly, she was like, "Can you not call me that?" And I was like, "Call you what?" She was like, "Don't call me nigga," and I don't appreciate being called nigga, and I don't appreciate how you've been calling women out of their name, as far as homegirl, homie, bitches, and niggas. And I'm like, Shorty, I have no idea what you're talking about. But I was like, you know what? If I said anything that offended you, I apologize. But you've been calling me nigga this whole time, so I'm kind of confused by this logic and how it upsets you. So of course, when I questioned her of her logic, she was like, "Why are you arguing with me? If a tranny and a non-binary person wants to be called he, she, or them, you're not gonna call them something that they don't want to be called, right?" Bro, you brought the the trans community into this? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? What? So then Shorty was like, if you don't want me calling you nigga, then you need to tell me so I can know not to call you nigga. And I'm just like, bro, I think, it's all good, bro. I think all this shit just went over your head. We can skedaddle. You don't even have to worry about me no more. Bro, so we get about that mug, walking to the car. I go home, and bro, the only thing that really kind of pissed me off about that whole fucking date, bro, was I forgot my to-go box. Trying to get out of there in a hurry, trying to speed my ass up out that joint. I forgot my to-go box, bro. I forgot my food. I've been pissed ever since then. I
Devastating.
think about that shit, bro. But if you look into a date in Atlanta, do not bring your ass down here, boy, because they ain't got nothing for you. No. So, long story short, somehow, some kind of way, I ended up on a date with a bisexual feminist who hates men, who is problematic, combative, complex, and I kid you not, y'all. I really feel like this girl only came on this date for a free meal, because there's no way you only came to insult me, be rude, and disrespectful. Because I just can't go for that. But it turns out she did tell me that she was a feminist, so all of it makes sense, because anything that I would have did anyway, just as a male figure, probably would have triggered her. So I'm wishing y'all the best of luck, and I hope y'all got way better luck than I have dating in Atlanta.
Girl, I'm a little. It's a little hurtful. The feminist thing, like, feminist is not always a bad word, but there are some situations or some people that will have you look at it that way.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so again, because I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
Throwing it out there.
Okay.
You know, if Shorty would like to give her side of the story,
Mm.
you know, Oust Now podcast would love to hear from you, and you
Mm-hmm.
can go ahead and send us a email or reach out to us. Put it in the comments, because we always in comments. Put it in the comments.
Yes.
But if Shorty would like to reveal herself and give us her side of the story, um, please, by all means, we're here for it.
Yes, agreed. And the email is now on that bottom ticker, because we all know how forgetful I am. Forget my own name on days and can't remember what a hand towel was called. It's a hand towel. Sorry, just give me a second.
It's okay. something tells me my mini has something to do with what's going on currently. Something gives me that.
They just do what kids do. um, I think sometimes that people misconstrue what a feminist is, and I think maybe even women can. Like
Mhm.
we just talked about Shirley Chisholm, who, for all intensive purposes, while she may not consider herself or did not label herself as one, she was technically one. Because she was advocating for equality for men and women, for women when it came to pay. Um, but that's what feminine feminism really is. It's not an excuse to be an all around jerk, and it's not
Period.
an excuse, and it's also not man bashing.
It's not
Um, that's not what it is.
at all.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Um, I feel like anybody can have a bad first date. But the real topic was expectations, right? So what I will say about I'm gonna even take it back to the comments, right? That one young lady who wrote in the comments about he had asked her prior, "Are you gonna come back to my place after the date?" And she declined. Um, Now it kind of said that he was in my opinion, I feel like he was a little bit of a jerk because then he canceled the date because she said, "No, we're not going back to your place afterwards." However, um, I can respect the fact that he put his expectation first. We're not gonna get out here. He didn't wait till afterwards and say, "Hey, is this what we doing?" It was pretty much, "Hey, can we go back to my place afterwards?" And I think that leads up to the topic pretty much is knowing or having expectations and laying them out prior beforehand. This is or even if not your expectations, your boundaries. These are my boundaries. This is what I'm okay with. I don't know if I like you like that yet to have you at my house or for me to come to your house. Now, if I like you like that, you would already know because you would have been at my house. I would have invited you to my home, but I did not. So, yeah, I think laying out the expectations and the boundaries in advance will cause a lot less confusion, and you won't have dates where you're out and they're expecting you to pay for a meal because you wasn't meeting their expectations because your boundaries were different. You're on
Yeah.
mute. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But and everyone's expectations is different. Like if I'm going on a first date, I don't think my first expectation is, "Hey, look, I'm going to put out," or expect you to put out. Like my expectation, I don't want to have high hopes. I don't want to have because you might build yourself up for expectation like he did because he built himself up for an expectation that he didn't get. So like, do you go into a date with no expectations and so that way you're not disappointed in the end? Because like he had this expectation, oh yeah, I'm gonna get some at the end of the night because I'm gonna pay for this meal. She's like, I had the expectation that, well, yeah, there some expectation. Like, don't think that because you're getting a free meal, you're gonna get some.
This how I feel, and I could be wrong. But he did say in part of the video, if we're talking about, let's talk about uh the first clip that we saw, right? He stated that, we had been talking for a while because we talked about it. Your definition of a while and my definition of a while can be two different things. Furthermore, during those conversations that you're claiming that we had, oh, we talked for a while beforehand, we clearly wasn't talking about what really needed to be talked about, because if so, you would already know that I am not giving you no boot tang, no poop tang the first date. Clearly, we did not conversate enough, because had you would already have already peeped whether I was open to that with you or not.
Very, very, very true. Because, but then that kind of makes me feel like, well, maybe you wasn't talking long enough, because then you would kind of have the sense of what you can and cannot do. He should have known, or it's somewhere in there. If you'd been talking for a decent, even if you'd been talking for 2 to 3 weeks, I feel like that's something that would have been disclosed in that short period of time
Right.
in my head. But I don't know. Maybe
I
if
don't
you wonder,
know.
you'd be afraid to say something like that.
But he wasn't afraid to say it when they standing in there. He ain't afraid. He's not.
He
I assure
wasn't,
you he's
but would
not.
she would she be afraid to disclose it up front, like this ain't just so you know this ain't gonna happen?
Maybe she didn't put her boundaries up first,
Hmm.
but sometimes you shouldn't. Sometimes. And what I mean by that is you
Mm.
can't give everybody the key to success. You can't the key to no, maybe wrong quote, right? You can't give everybody the recipe. You can't wait. I'm sorry. So you can't give everybody the recipe, right? You can't be like, oh, this, and that's something that I have learned is that we are not discussing past relationships. But this that's yeah, because I feel like me telling you what I feel maybe someone else did wrong is kind of me telling you um too much information, because I want you to be authentically you. You know what I mean? I can't hear you.
I mean, I guess it would depend. Like, it depends on the person, because there are people who you can disclose information to them and then they'll use it against you in like 2 hot seconds.
Quick,
People will do that, but
fast.
there are people who won't do that. There are people out there who won't do that. And I'm talking about you guys. There's men out there who won't do it, but there's certainly men who will use it against you. Um,
You,
but if you are now, you don't have to go into too many details, but do you disclose some of the things some things, because that can help the other person, maybe not up front, but somewhere along I don't know what that ratio should look like. But at some point disclose it, because those could be triggering points for you that you might be still working through or whatever. So like it's kind of it's a very fine line what to disclose, when to disclose it,
but that's
because it can
when
be a
you,
little bit tricky.
it can be, but you know how to say what you're comfortable and what you're uncomfortable with. Hey, I'm not comfortable with that. And I think sometimes some of that is being honest about for example, I had somebody that I was kind of conversating with, and we were literally, now we knew each other from school back in the day, but as far as adulthood, I really didn't know the person like that. A lot changes as we grow, we get older, so on and so forth. But um we were not on a sexual level at all. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking, we're getting to know each other, um, type of thing. But he sent me this joke, and I thought it was so inappropriate. I was like, no, we're not there yet. And it really kind of, it was off-putting to the fact where I was like, yeah, I'm no. Mm-mm. Because it made me feel like, and he was like, oh, I didn't mean any harm by it. It was really just a joke. And I was like, yeah, that's a joke for people that may already be there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a joke that you tell somebody that you've kind of like maybe already have been intimate. Y'all already kicking it with. You already been together. You know me, I know you. Type of a joke. That's not a joke that you would be like, boom. Oh, wait, wait a minute. What are you talking about? It kind of threw me for a loop, and it was very off-putting. And I just had to break it down. Hey, listen, I didn't like that. I was uncomfortable with that joke. But I'm happy they made the joke because in my mind, it kind of let me know, yeah, that's not what I'm on. Me and you not on the same shit.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Fair point.
we're not
Yeah.
on the
That's a fair point. I don't know. I kind of figure like, what would I have done? Slap down that 20 and been like, bye.
girl. I would have left the tip. I pay for my meal and I'll leave the tip. All
You know
right.
what? Since you would have, I'll pay for your meal
Block me.
too. Touche.
Please block me. Please.
Let, I
Don't
don't
waste
know.
the don't waste the extra effort in blocking me because I ain't gonna talk to you no damn way after today. So you ain't even got
Okay.
to put up. It's unnecessary.
You better call, not me. Hmm.
Um, as far as the second clip that we
Mm,
saw, um, that one is a little bit harder in my opinion because we don't see it for ourselves.
true. It's just his account
It's
of
just
it.
his account and his side. I think that's how come as soon as the clip was over with, I was like, okay, shorty, if you want to make yourself known and give us your perspective on it, please do.
Hmm.
Because um we didn't visually see it. We're just going off what he said. We
Yeah.
didn't see a clip. Unlike the first video, it was an actual clip. Like he came out his mouth with it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you bold.
And then
Oh,
let her record it too. I still wonder, like maybe it was just for. I question that
views,
part.
views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. But this guy. I mean, I can understand an awkward moment. Like no one is perfect, right? You can't walk into a date expecting like it's something out of a movie because that's life just ain't that. So things can get it can be get a little bit awkward on a first date, like him trying to be cute. I don't know. I find like I might be a little bit like, excuse me, if someone would have said I could be your personal stylist. Like I don't need you to be my personal. I wouldn't be offended, but it would give me pause if a gentleman said that because it almost feels like now I am from New York and I can be blunt sometimes, depends. And sometimes I could be blunt gently. So I don't know. I think he kind of generalized New Yorkers, and I was like, don't do that. um, but I think I'd be a little bit offended if
I
someone
think you
said,
can be a
because
little blunt.
I'm like, I don't need you to tell me how to dress. Thanks, but no thanks.
Girl, she messed that up because see, you know what I would have did? I would have took him up on that offer. Really?
You know why I would have said I wouldn't have liked it? Because I
Okay. Well, you know what? Skip the meal. You want to go to the mall and be my personal stylist? What you gonna get me first? Girl, you missed the opportunity, boo. I'm like, wait a minute,
nah.
girl. Pull over. There's a mall. There's a mall. Hold that thought, sir. That we could pull up. The mall is
I'm
you
pretty
want
sure that date wouldn't have happened if that's what
no,
she
I'm
came
joking.
with.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I swear to God, I'm joking.
No, I
But
know, but
I, I kind of would have wondered, and that's why I said we don't know her story, right?
Mhm.
Because the way he said it, he made it very innocent, right?
This-
He did make it a little innocent, right? But in my mind, I would have took that as like I personally probably would have been like, wow, is he trying to say something about what I have on?
he
How
hadn't even
my
seen her
my
yet,
appearance for the
though.
day?
He hadn't even seen him. He was already trying to say, "Oh, you want me to be his personal stylist?"
No, I thought he said they met
I didn't
on
catch
a
that.
Tuesday and had agreed to go out on a Sunday.
I don't remember that part. I could be totally wrong, but I'd still be like, I think the bigger thing is if you tell me as someone who's just
Okay.
getting to know each other how something that would allude to you telling me how I would suggest
Subtract.
dress, it screams of controlling
Suspect.
to me. So I could see how that would throw up a red flag to me. Like even if you think you're trying to be cute, I wouldn't necessarily find that kind of cute. I'm like,
Something else
hmm.
he said that was a little bit of a trigger for me, and I recognized it. So that's why I was like, okay, so I may just feel this way. But it was something else that he said that kind of threw me. It was a word that he used. I don't know if it was combative. What
Mm.
was the word that he had used? In other uncooperative, combative, some word that he used, and I was like, yeah, usually from my experience, I'm not saying everybody's like that. Again, I wasn't there on that date, but from my experience, when guys usually use the combative or use the not combative and uncooperative, those words right there used to describe a relationship
Mm.
makes me a little, that's a little suspect.
Is it giving you
Bec-
ick?
It's giving me a little bit of like, yeah, honey, you might really do have a control thing. Because in a relationship, it's supposed to be a level of communication, right?
Hmm.
Not if I disagree with you or if I don't like something, are you going to say that I'm being combative? Are you going to say that I'm not cooperating with you? Like, this ain't no business agreement. This is a
Yeah.
relationship. That gives me the kind of weird vibe. Is it
Well,
just
apparently he
me?
was giving, no, he must have, not for nothing, but we talk on our personal conversations a lot about trusting our gut. As she felt something was
Hmm.
off because she was calling him an alcoholic. She was talking about, what's she say? I hate y'all men or something. But then I was like, dude, why are you out with a date with a man if you feel like this
You don't
part that
like
kind of threw
men?
me off. So
You
in
don't
my
like
head, I was
men?
like, "You ain't bi." Excuse me. If you want to correct me, I was like, "You ain't bi." If you don't like how men move, ma'am. Sorry.
Yeah,
Please
from
forgive
someone
me. Don't
like
come for
me.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah, we
can't
might
walk
not
around
like the
saying
same
I'm
thing, but it's
this.
okay.
No, but then again, we are hearing from his perspective. But you can't say I'm
Correct.
bi and then say I hate y'all men, which means that you probably are not bi, and maybe you got some reconciliation you got to work with within your soul and within who you
Period.
think you are. Ain't nothing wrong with who you love or who you like, because what you do in your bedroom does not affect me. So, but I just feel like
Period.
that would be kind of weird from a guy's perspective. I'm not a guy, but I think from a guy to look at that and be like, why are you saying this? I hate men and yeah, dot. That's
I
kind of
think I feel like it's parts of the story that might be missing.
I
Maybe
feel
it
like
will
that.
all come. I feel like that, me personally, because um just kind of like what you said earlier, it had to be maybe a trigger, a feeling. It had to be more to it than just you're not gonna tell me how to dress. Like it would depend on how they came to me,
Hmm.
um, how they approached me about it. I've dealt with controlling
Hmm.
before,
Hmm.
and it usually does start off from
As,
my experience. I can't speak for anybody else, but it starts off with those little innuendos, those little jokes, some little underhanded jokes, and then it was like, oh no, you wasn't joking. You wasn't joking at all. It was some validity
yeah.
um to those jokes, and then it progressed from there. So maybe she has some triggers of her own.
Fair. Yeah, and I
because
like, yeah, that would have triggered me too. How you dress, I
say
like how
what?
I dress just fine. Thanks.
Shoot. Period.
And then one thing I did, like, I like for the person, like, if she were to come forward or come with like a comeback video, I would love to see, and we would do a follow up episode about it.
Yes.
Because the fact that he couldn't take the time, like she called him lazy. I agree. Because if you can't take the time to call me by my actual name instead of a fucking
Yeah.
nickname, how kind
Yep.
of lazy are you? Can't say you can only speak in one syllable,
Yeah.
even
He
if
said
it was 10 syllable names.
he
Make an
said
effort.
anything. What he said? Anything beyond three syllables, he's
Something like that.
lazy when it comes to syllables. Like what the? Well,
Oh, unless it was a really complicated name, but make an effort.
so what? So what? Even if it is a
Make
complimentary name, give him my respect. And then as
yeah.
we get to know each other, then if we want to come up with little short nicknames for each other, then so be it. That's fine. That's
Mhm.
perfectly acceptable. But
Babe.
if my name is Kennewa Wazoo, then I expect you to call me Kennewa Wazoo until we agree on something else, like Bay or Boo Thang
Yep.
or or Sexy Mama or whatever. Or Shorty. I don't
All
did
of
we
the
agree?
things.
Did you agree? Did I agree to you calling me shorty?
Mm,
Because,
yeah.
you
I
know,
thought I was like, dude, come on, make an effort. Because then you know what that also says to me? If someone said that about, I'm lucky enough to have a very short syllable name, but like if you can't take the effort to say my name correctly, what else will you not make an effort on, sir?
girl, I can tell you right now, if you lazy, you lazy. And
I
I'm gonna
don't
leave it at
know.
that.
He
You lazy? Yeah, okay.
a name? Like, come on, dude. And this is your first impression. This is like your first date. Come on, guy.
Anybody
But
want to talk about their first date?
yeah, please drop it in the comments. We are here for it. Or if you ever felt like oh, you weren't comfortable enough to say it here during the live or comment during the lives, comment anywhere or send us an email at oustpodcast@gmail. Send us an email. We would be happy to have you on as a guest, similar to like what you have today, or we could even do it privately outside of a live. But like last live, we did address some comments, not with the person with us, but we're happy to talk about anything that you want us to, because we're out. Sound it out, talk it out, get it out. Thank you so much for hanging with us for this Sunday. We know tomorrow's Monday, back to work. Kids should be out of school, or this should be their last week of school, come near soon for some folks, but we appreciate the time that you do spend with us on Sunday.
As always, I can't say it any better than that, T. Thank you for joining us. Please go check out Oust Now Podcast Season 3. And also, please, please, please go check out this project that's only available on YouTube. Oust Now Podcast presents This Is Us. Go check those out. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of the support, all of the comments, the likes, and the shares. We
Mhm.
greatly appreciate y'all. We cannot grow without y'all. Time is something that you cannot get back. And the fact that y'all have taken the time to be here with us, however long or short that may be, we cannot tell you how much we appreciate that. We can't put it into words. So, y'all have an awesome rest of y'all night.
Very true.